Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Fate Remnant Collide. So yeah, let us begin, shall we, ladies and gents? As we go to Good Witch. Good Witch would be looking at all of the, I guess you could say, her past students, in this case RWBY, and that of Team Juniper, and also look at Team Indigo and that of Rex. As she would say, so Team Juniper, as she would look towards RWBY, as she would say, I heard that you're planning to go on a training mission. Am I correct? As she would say, yeah. The reason why we're doing this is because, well, we want to get stronger. Ever since the fall of Beacon, the fall of nearly half of Vale, I want to help. I want to get stronger. Especially since Sis is going with Blake. And Tina also going with her. And Weiss. She's been helpful with the house, but I want to get stronger. I'm quite young. So, as Rex would look at her, as he would say, makes sense. Wait for a second. As RWBY would continue saying, I want to be stronger, even if I'm younger than everybody here. As Rex would look at her, would say, if that's the case, then I'll join you. After hearing that, she would say, wait, really? As he would say, yeah, I want to get stronger too. Especially since I want to take my revenge on damn Walter. As she would say, Walter? Oh, right. You, or at least from what I heard, you, as she would say, yeah. Walter betrayed me, and the rest of Beacon. He was colluding with the freaking enemy. Why? It just pisses me off. As his eye would start to glow a dark red, a almost a violent crimson. As when, Good Witch saw that, she would say, Rex, are you okay? As she would be worried. After all, she is his mother, or at least adopted mother. As he would say, I'm fine, Mom. It's just the fusion. As one of them would say, wait, fusion? Said to confuse Nora, as Good Witch would explain. From what I heard, apparently he's fused with a new class of servant. As one of them would say, wait. He's fused with a servant? Wait, that sounds like, as she would say, yeah. From what we heard, it's almost similar to that of Adam Tauros and that of Saber. But in his case, his is what he's called a extra servant. As one of them is specifically that of Pyra would say, extra servant? As he would say this, yes. In my case, I was given the beast classification. As one of them would say, beast class? As he would say this, yes. From what I know, or at least from what I heard from my other servants, obviously lying through his teeth, from what I heard from my servants, apparently the beasts are not normal. They're known as the beasts of humanity. Even though the name sounds quite handy, almost in fact if we serve under humanity to protect it, they're the opposites. They're beasts. Embodiments of sin. Embodiments of humanity's negative traits. Almost similar to the Grim, but even more terrifying. In my case, I was fused with Beast 7, Sodom. As one of them would say, Sodom? What kind of name is that? As he would say, that beast, it represents sin itself. And that is why I was able to survive, by making a deal with her to become a freaking vessel for her. But for now, she's cooperating. And if there's any chance that I might become a beast, I give you the orders to try and kill me. Hearing that, one of them would say, wait, we can't do that. Said a worried Ruby, as you would say, it does not matter. If I become a beast, if I become a calamity that would destroy Remnant, I give you the chance to kill me if that ever happens. As everybody would stay quiet, as Pyro would say, then we'll prevent that from ever happening. I promise, she would say, worried. As Rex would look at her and would say, thank you, though it may be impossible. As he would look at her and would say, for now, I think it's time for me to start packing up as well. Since, what day are you going? Or at least, we're going. As Pyro would say, well, we'll be going soon. Maybe tomorrow. As he would say, very well then. I'll have Rider of Ebony. Wait for a second, let me just double check. I meant Rider of Crimson to help us in the moving. Especially since with her ship. As after saying that, he would start preparing. As Team Nebula, specifically that of Do, would say, wait, oh yeah, maybe I should also pack up. Girls, let's do it. As one of them would say, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that, said Nebula. Hey, Saber? As they would see again, Bargust. As Bargust would look at her and would say, yes, Master? As Nebula would say, can you help us with the packing up everything? As she would say, very well, Master, if you insist. As after saying that, they would start to leave. As Rui would say, huh, so at least it will help us in traveling a little bit more. As after saying that, Good would say, and all of you, she would say. As they would notice her, as she would say this, keep Rex safe. I'm worried for him as a mother. After all, he is like my own child, even though he's not related to me. Just make sure that he's happy. Make sure that he's, well, you know. As saying that, all of them would agree. As Pyro would say, we would do everything to help. As Jean would say, yeah, I promise. As after saying that, we would go to another perspective. We go to the perspective of a really unassuming, like, a thing to say the least. Not really unassuming, but more like pretty surprising to say the least. In this case, our beloved Shiana Khan, as she's currently with a small squad of her loyal White Fang members. You see, after the rebellion against, well, Adam, it caused the White Fang to be split into two. The faction that was being led by Adam is now known as the Black Claw, while the one that's being led by by Shiana are just called the White Fang, or Neo White Fang, as they're now, well, less into just pure on, you know, I guess you could say faunist supremacy, but more like now, in her case, wanting to actually coexist with humans, unlike Adam, who was pure radicalized. As she would say this, God, ever since we lost our base, we've been, as one of the White Fang or Neo White Fang members would say, Shiana Khan, we got reports of another bandit attack. Should we help out? And she would say, yeah, it's better than doing nothing. As after saying that, the member would leave. As Shiana would say this, so, Berserker, how's it been doing? as they would see. Sorry about that. Anyway, continue on. As we would see Berserker, as she would come out of, I guess you could say, a room. As the room would be revealed to be, well, to say the least, typical witch stuff. Ingredients from, I get to say, frog tongues and stuff, to actual modern day tech, or at least modern in the sense of, the RWBY universe. As she would say, Master, may I ask why did you, as she would say, I wanted to ask, can you teach me magecraft? Or whatever you call it? As she would say, sure, but it's gonna be difficult since you don't have magic circuits. As she would say, magic circuits? As she would explain, magic circuits are what makes us mages, or in this case, for me, in my case, a sorceress that allows us to use magic, or magecraft. So, for now, I think it's better to just show you. As she would do a simple reinforcement. As, after doing so, she would say, this is what we call reinforcement. The most basic form of magecraft. Watch. As she would do a little punch and would break a pillar. Instantly. As Shiana would say, wow. So, is that what you call magecraft? As she would say, the most basic kind to say the least. But, yes. And also, if you're going to be using magecraft, you need to substitute the actual mana with something else. As she would say, mana? As she would say, mana or ode is essentially the actual energy that allows us to do magecraft. For you, I can certainly find a way to do so. Maybe by using the, what you call as aura, and turning it into magecraft circuit, or I meant magic circuits, I meant. As she would say, then let's do it. As she would say, then hold still. The process may be painful. I'm just doing it off just theory though, since I'm not exactly sure if it will work. As she would say, if it works, then at least I can help you. As she would say, you're too kind, Master. As we go to another perspective, sorry. So, we finally go to the perspective of a certain dusty old crow. As he's currently going through the streets of, I guess you could say, in a nearby facility of, I believe it was called, I can't remember the exact name of that specific village, but it's from the start of RWBY Volume 4, as in this volume that I'm going to be basing it off. Since in this volume, that is where we finally go to the start of, I guess you could say, the sort of like a travel arc with Team Ranger, as he's currently slicing through Grim, as you'd say, seriously, the kid is gonna be pretty thankful when we finally meet again. As while saying that, he would look towards behind him and would say, so, kid, you ready? As the person that was right behind Crow would reveal himself. As the man would reveal himself. As the young man was that of the servant from last few episodes ago. In this case, the weird saber that has a sort of replica of Excalibur and Avalon. As you'd say, thank you, Mr. Crow. Or Mr. Broadwin, I meant. As he would say, just don't call me Broadwin, it sounds too formal. As he would look at him and say, then let's just keep going. After all, my little niece doesn't want to get too killed by the Grim. As he would say, yes. Though, I'm still searching for that man. The one known as Rex. I seek for him to become my master. As he would say, I guess maybe we'll be meeting him soon. And so we're gonna be ending off this episode right off here, guys. So yeah, bye-bye!